Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 6, Can White Women Wear Jade? We had a little bit of a break last week with spring break, but this podcast is inspired by a woman I saw on the beach. So over the years, my family has traveled quite a bit, and with traveling, I've observed many different types of styles amongst many different cultures. While I was on the beach last week, I noticed a beautiful Asian woman wearing 2 jade bangles, and as I was observing her jade bangles, I couldn't stop staring at how beautiful they were, and I was just thinking to myself, can I as a white woman wear jade? Now, a little bit of brief history about the history of jade. One of my sources, a wonderful article I found called The History of Jade, the Emperor's Stone by Jeff Desjardins. So what exactly is jade? There are 2 types of jade that are discovered in China. First is the nephrite jade, which was the very first of the material that was discovered, and it was the traditional jade that was used and carved since ancient times. Nephrite was so important that the traditional deposits in China are now depleted with how much they were used. There is evidence that jadeite jade, coming primarily from the Burma area, began to be traded in China on a wider scale in the 14th century, and it was much harder and denser and worked much easier, and it eventually became the form of the gemstone preferred by Chinese artisans and prized by the Chinese people. Jade has been around since the Stone Age in China, and it has been used in several designs and carvings and decorations, in ceremonies and furnishings and jewelry, all for the imperial families. And by 3000 BC, jade became known as Yu, or the royal gem. Jade was used for the most wealthy and influential members of society, and they could even be buried in jade suits that were made from 2,498 pieces of solid jade and 2.5 pounds of gold wire. Gold and jade are both extremely important factors of social status within the Asian culture. A great way to understand the significance and importance of jade to the Chinese culture is by telling you how entire kingdoms in China have started wars over this particularly precious stone. So that's just a brief history about the origin of jade and what exactly jade is. I wanted to get into more of a conversation around tradition and ancient history regarding jade from a more personal level. So I spoke with professor at Kennesaw State University, Mei Gao, to understand the traditions behind wearing jade.
My name is May. I'm a professor in the School of Communication and Media. I was born and raised in China, a professor of communication and Asian studies.
So my first question for you, if you can just give me a brief kind of history about jade jewelry in the Asian culture.
Yes, so jade has been in existence as a jewelry and also symbol of power and symbol of ethics for thousands of years. Several thousand years ago, our ancestors discovered that jade has a unique quality of beauty and consistency, and so they liked jade as a symbol of beauty and social status. Just like diamond in the rough, jade come from rough stones. And then it takes a lot of time and effort to recognize the stone as having special potential. And also you have to smooth the stone to show off the internal beauty. So jade can be a good metaphor for a good person. Chinese culture, educators always use jade as a metaphor to show the students that you all have the potential to be a beautiful piece of jade, but you need to be smoothed out and you need to be discovered by someone who know your quality. So jade bracelets, usually women wear on the left arm. In the left arm, it has a tremendous health value because as you wear jade, it moves around. So it actually massage your wrist, stimulates the blood flow of your body. So it helps to enhance the health and enhance the beautiful look of women.
So, in your opinion, can women or men who are not from China wear jade?
Well, of course, yes. It's good for women of all racial, ethnic, and cultural background.
After talking with May about some of the logistics and the history around jade, I wanted to talk to a close friend of mine, Samantha Ma, who is from Wuhan, China, who I have known for a very long time, and I wanted to talk to her about modern women wearing jade. And just as a quick explanation, Samantha is actually her American name, so she will be introducing herself with her traditional Chinese name.
Originally from Wuhan, which is central China.
So living in China through most of your young adult life, did you observe a lot of women wearing jade?
Yes. In fact, I think my mom had a few really precious ones that are from my grandma, and then my grandma also got it from my great-grandma. Some elements of the jade that will help balance the yin and yang in your body, so it's really good for your health, mostly for women. And then I think also the fact that a jade 冬暖夏凉 stays cool in summer and warm in winter, gives out some kind of, I think spiritually, keeps all the devils goes away from you.
Chinese women, but did you observe when you were growing up, did you see a lot of men wearing jade, or was it really just your females?
Men, when they wear them, it's like a Buddha. Have you seen a Buddha?
Yeah,
jade?
yeah.
They will wear that necklace, if it's a Buddha. If it's just, I've seen bracelets a lot, like jade bracelets, and then a lot of women wearing those and then don't take them off. Like you said, I think it protects them and gives sense of security.
There's also a point in my audio that is a little hard to hear, so I wanted to say it separately, but I had heard too, when women wear jade bracelets that they do not intend to take off, the only way to really get them off is one, if you use great force to get them off, it's very difficult, or if they break. And if they break, it means that they have absorbed absorbent amounts of negative energy or bad spirits, and the breaking means that it has absorbed all of the negative energy that it is protecting you from, and that it is maxed out.
The history of jade has sort of passed down through your family, but then you decided to not wear it.
Yeah, it's more of a older generation type of thing. I think the young kids nowadays, they don't consider that as a cool, like fashion wise, not as cool. But if somebody got it, it's mostly from, your mom or your grandma.
Because I was curious if it was insensitive if I, as a white woman, wore jade, because I didn't know.
No, I don't think so. I think if you wear it, people probably think, oh, you understand. You probably understand, what it does to you. It's good for your health and that kind of stuff. Maybe they think you're into Asian culture and.
So I think the message after talking to Samantha and May was, if you wanted to wear a piece of jewelry that has a lot of cultural history behind it, as long as you appreciated and honored and understood the history behind such piece, regardless of your race, you're welcome to wear that piece of jewelry as long as you are honoring where it comes from and not just wearing it willy-nilly. This podcast is a little bit longer than others I've done in the past, but I was really excited about this one, and I found the whole history and traditions behind wearing jade extremely interesting, so I wanted to share as much as I could with you all. I'm also going to be sharing some links and some articles in the description so you all can see how jade bangles are put on, because they're quite difficult to get on, the meaning behind what they are when they break, and also an interesting video I found of a woman who is an expert at buying and selling pure jade, figuring out what is real and what is fake. So thank you all for joining me this week, and I look forward to seeing you at the next one.